Hi guys, welcome to my channel. The story I'm about to tell today was all started in the year 1996. The Lord has been urging me to sit in front here and make this story long time ago. But then I used to like slack back, maybe thinking it's not appropriate, but everything that has to do with the Lord has nothing to do with whether appropriate or not. So today the Lord has spoke to me. He has been, for the past 1 week, has been like speaking to me. This is the time I want you to make the story, to tell to the world how I used you as an instrument to carry out his assignment. And this assignment today has to do with a Nigerian YouTuber that used to base in Malaysia. Her name is lilypopetv. And she's one YouTuber that I actually connected with when I got to know her. I didn't know that God has already connected us spiritually unknowingly to me. So the moment I watched her TV, I saw this urge connecting me to her, especially the day I watched her mother. She brought her mother into her channel, and then I watched that video. Something miraculous happened. There was this spiritual connection that connected me to her mother. And later I'm going to share the story why I have a connection with Lily Pop's mom. But today God wants me to make a story of how he used me to move Lily Pop from her village, a village called Mbo in Enugu State, to Awka, Anambra. I was the instrument God used. And the transition began in the year 1996. And then God wants me to tell the story in this my platform that he has given me the voice and the power to use the voice. So in the year 1996, God was trying to move his business from America to Nigeria. Before he used to do business with the Americans, and then it makes sense why they used to say, "In God we trust." It's because Jesus was with them. They're doing business for many years. Though he had, probably he had concluded his business there and wanted to shift to a different country. And Lily Pope was the chosen one. And I also was the means through which he was going to move his business from America to Nigeria, to Awka precisely. So in that 1996, they made me to kind of have the urge to get a job. You know, I was looking for a job. And finally, I got this a shop as a sales girl, working in this card shop. So I didn't know that everything was just programmed there for this assignment, for this transition to take place. So while I was in that shop, you know, the man, I call him the man of that, I call him master of disguise because he can come to you in human form. So that was when he came to me in human form, and then, you know, as somebody that came to buy cards, you know. But then he also sent somebody to me there. While I was in that shop, different people were coming and trooping in buying cars, but actually a spiritual transaction was being carried there without my knowledge. So one day, this certain man walked into my shop, and he walked into my shop, and it was on a Saturday, I think, and he wanted to buy cards. that he told me he wanted to attend a party or a wedding or something like that. And then I showed him the various cards we have, and then he kind of took a liking towards me, and then since then he kept coming. He kept coming. So I later came to find out that this guy, I later came to find out that he's from Enugu, from a village called Mbo. And this guy's name happened to be Chinedu Eze. I know why I am mentioning this Chinedu Eze, because God used names that rhymes to get to his target. So that's why I'm mentioning this name. So this guy came, and it happened that this guy, we both have the same interest. He studied English. He's a creative writer. He loves literature. He's an art student. And because that time I've not entered the university, and then this guy had already been there, done it, attained the height, and he was already working as a field journalist for this oil and gas publication. So whenever he comes, he used to, keep me company and blow my head with vocabularies. But little did I know that he was the connection. God was using him to connect me to Lilypop, because his village is the same village as Lilypop. He's from Bo. So he told me he's from Bo, and then I think because we had the same interest, as we have the same, academically, we have the same interest. So I saw him as my role model, and I picked interest in him. So from time to time, he will come and share the little knowledge he has with me. And then he was writing a book that time. He will come and give me, the snippet of what he has written, and he will want me to read it. And then, and I began to, to like this guy because of that academical interest we shared together. Then it was fast forward many later years, when to the year 2020, when God made me to open up my YouTube channel. So when he made me to open up my YouTube channel, he gradually connected me to Lilypop, via Nello Okeke and Dynamic Victoria. That was how I got to find out whom Lilypop was. And then I started to watch her TV. That before that 2020, before I deviate, in the year 2002, I was posted to Asaba for my youth service corps assignment. So while I was there, the same God, came to me. And that time, I was 27 at that time. And then he came to me. He always work with numbers, work with name that rhyme and numbers that rhyme. So he came to me. I did not know. And he came to me as a friend. And then he was so nice to me. And then he said to me, have I been to, while we were talking, he said, have I been to Enugu before? And it just happened to be that Enugu was the only eastern part of the country that I have never stepped my leg in. I have been to every other eastern part, been to Ebonyi, been to Abia, Imo State, Anambra, but Enugu was the place. Then he said to me that he was going to take me around to Enugu. And I was so overjoyed there. So he said, okay, I should get ready. But it turned out that on that day that we're going to go to Enugu, instead of taking me to Enugu, he whisked me to Awka. And then I've never been to Awka before, but I didn't know that we went there, he wanted my feet to step there on the soil of Awka. So after he took me to Awka, he brought me back. And then I was like, you said we're going to Enugu. Why the change of mind? But he didn't say anything, and I didn't probe further. So I left it at that. Understand? Then the year 2020, I eventually got to know whom Lily Pope was. Then I later found out that she's from Mbo, the same village from Chinedu Eze. And then there was when God wanted to bless her with those twin babies, God used me as an instrument. And I'm going to share it in a different video. God used me as an instrument. And why God used me, God took me to a particular place where I received this baby blessing. Initially, I thought it was for me. But later that day, God said to me, that night I received that blessing. He said, order this hair product. Order this virgin hair from this China company and use it to connect with these babies that you have received and make it physical. But I didn't know that I was being used to receive these babies, and these people were going to be sent to Lily Pope. So I went home thinking they were for me. Why in that hotel I ordered those the hair, and I got to the house, and this time it was in Birmingham. I had moved to the second place, and that was where it all happened. So I bought that. The hair arrived, and then I moved out of that house. I moved to the third house in Birmingham. So while I was in this third house, the urge, the urge to communicate to Lily Pope was so high in me. I don't know what was pushing me. I was just something. I was loving her. I don't know what was making me loving her. I didn't know that God has already connected me to her a long time ago, in the year 1986. So maybe that was what triggered that love. So I started to communicate with her more often in her Instagram page, trying to share personal problems, which I later realized that it was not called for. But then I communicated to her, and then we had a discussion where she offered to promote my product from Avon. I didn't know that God was using that means for me to send that hair to her. So I sent that. Then along the line, when I was posting the Avon product to her, the Spirit of God said, add the hair together so that she can promote your market for you. But then in my head, I thought I was going to start a hair business. But God used that hair business to, to shift those baby blessings to that same Awka where he took me to many years ago. So when later I found out Lily Pope received that baby blessing and then got pregnant with those twins, everything started to make sense to me. I started to watch closely, started to analyze, started to understand things. I said, did God really use me to fix Lily Pope in Awka? So the address Lily Pope gave to me, I started to look at it. It has my number, my date of birth, the same number. I was born on the number 20 with the number 27, and I was 27 years old when God whisked me to Awka, and the house address she used to send me gave to me was also the number 27. I started to add the maths around there. Then the surname that she gave to me as her husband's surname happens to be the same surname as this guy that is from Lilypop's village. Then that was when it dawned on me. I said, God, you have a tricky way of using someone to get what you want. And I said, oh God, you actually used me to prepare a place in Awka, and then used me to connect to Lilypop and then plant her in Awka. I remember those days when Lilypop had her daughter, only her daughter, and she had those two twin buildings. I used to wonder in my head, why the purpose? Why did she build these two houses? Why she doesn't even have a son yet? It's male son that were occupied. Why did she build the house? Then when these twin boys came in, I now was able to understand the purpose of those twin house building in her house. And then as the Lord started to open my eyes more, and started to tell me what he has actually done, how he used to own a twin building somewhere in America, somewhere in Manhattan, America, and then he kind of demolished it and rebuilt a new one in Awka. And then he let me to understand that was how he moved his business to Nigeria. So this is the story how God used me as an instrument to transport Lilypop from Mbo, Enugu State to Awka, Anambra State, and chose Pope Ijo as the husband. He made Pope to chase Lily back to back until eventually Lily accepted Pope Ijo. So this is the story, and I'm going to my next story. I'm going to tell you about the origin of the twins. I know their origin, everything that happened. I'm very, very aware, but I'm very aware. But God wants me to share the story for documentation purposes, and that is what I have done. So until then, I say bye-bye.